Watch what people do, not what they are saying and how they're flapping their gums. So we talk a lot about cognitive dissonance here. We talk a lot about, lately at least, BlackRock, and we talk about psychology and thinking and how to improve yourself, how to drop vices, and how to gain skills that are going to help us in the future. So one of the things we talk about with BlackRock and Larry Fink, the man who runs BlackRock, you're talking about in 2017 or so, right around there. The time frame's not that important, but Larry Fink had come out and said, along with J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon, saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's brutal, Bitcoin's terrible," and on and on and on. While in the background, they were creating their trading desk, their Bitcoin solutions they could offer clients. And now, just recently, obviously, with BlackRock filing for an ETF and coming out and many people following suit and trying this game over again. People are like, "Oh, what's going on? This change of heart." At the end of the day, what some of the comments Jamie Dimon have Larry Fink have said over the years, you can hold opposing opinions. Again, we talk about cognitive dissonance. You can hold opposing opinions in your head at the same time. Nothing is ever really mutually exclusive. I shouldn't say nothing ever. But not everything in life is mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. Wow, I cannot talk. So the important part is to remember, and the whole premise of this is, again, I'm no expert, I'm no genius. This is just stuff I've studied over the last 10, 20 years and that have worked for me. Things I've seen in my life, growing up, being a professional athlete, the diligence and discipline of working hard, being coachable, nutrition, sleep, exercise, and being in great shape, and then carrying that over into my investing career, and then raising money and building businesses, and then helping people with their businesses and educating people, and being a teacher. These are the premise of why I do what I do, and this is why I think the way I think has brought me great success. And the cognitive dissonance and the mental aspect is what is so important, because I know that, moving this camera here, I know that. And we say in hockey too, but it's life as well. It's all sports. That life is 90% mental, 10% physical. So we have to focus on this. That's why we talk about Bob Proctor so much and Jim Rohn. So Larry Fink, my big advice in this video is to sometimes close your ears, and then just watch what people are doing. And you're going to get a lot closer to the truth many times than if you were to just try to decipher what people are saying. Again, we have our own biases. We have our own filters. We put things through, right? And when you hear Larry Fink or you hear Jamie Dimon say something, or the president, or whoever it is, your aunt, your uncle, it doesn't matter. You automatically start putting it through your own filter, right? Through your own conscious, then your subconscious. And then it goes into your body and you act it out. Again, Bob Proctor teachings. So we have to understand this. And when you hear what Larry Fink or Jamie Dimon are saying, you get these weird, like, "Oh, they're doing this," or "Oh, they're doing that." When in the background, if you just watch what they're doing, which is available, and which people could see, and people did point it out at the time, like, "Hey, they're doing this in the background." If you watch what people are doing, then that's the biggest, the president can come out and say, "Oh, we're really for small businesses and the family unit," but then they're over here promoting insanely promiscuous agendas in schools and throwing people's genitals in kids' faces and things like that, right? So you can say whatever you want, but when you show me what your actions are, that's who you really are, right? When you're doing something, that's who you really are. It's kind of like the characters doing the right thing even when no one's watching. And these are great rules to live by. So the Larry Fink thing, I wanted to use it as an example to show that we have to be able to hold opposing opinions in our head at the same time. They can be right, but also both things can be right, I guess, not in this case, but just in many cases in life, right? Both people can be right, both things can be right, and that is something that is a sign of genius. And it's not like we're just born this way. Like, obviously, we need to cultivate these skills and these abilities, and that's why this is so important to me that we continue doing this, because we don't do it in school. I mean, we just don't do it in school, and you would have to imagine that people much smarter than I or any of us have thought of these things before. So if you take the law of polarity, which we've been talking about a lot of lately as well, if people have thought of this before, but no one's doing anything about it, there's only two outcomes. There's only two reasons why. And it's one, because there's an agenda, or two, people are highly regarded. They're just not smart. So which is it? Pick your poison. And many of the choices in life kind of come down to those things. Are you not plugged in? Are all the wires not plugged in up here? Are things crossed? Or is there an agenda? Is there something that we're not seeing? And this is literally the premise of everything I do. You kind of are writing the line between which side is it? Which side is it? Do we need to get a little bit smarter? Do we need to be a little bit better? Has no one thought of this before? Or do we need to do this a different way? Or, oh my goodness, there's actually an agenda here, and there's a lot of crazy people and puppets pulling puppet strings. Or puppeteers pulling puppet strings. So this is the point of this. And I want people to just be aware of the agendas, but also, more importantly, the cognitive dissonance. The narrative, the biases we have, those are what we need to continue. And again, cognitive biases can be the most impactful on ourselves, right? The beam in our eye is usually there, and we're always focused on the splinter in someone else's eye. So that's why this is continually important. This is something you need to practice and work on every single day, whether it's through prayer, meditation, centering yourself, just study and growth, and putting it in practice. And this is something that I love going on Twitter Spaces. I love going to Twitter Spaces and then putting my ideas through the ringer, talking about, giving my opinions, and then I get to see how people react. And I love doing that because I think it's a really good way to really kind of humble yourself at times, because I get yelled at times, and people say you're crazy, people say you're ridiculous, or whatever it is. So it's a good way to keep yourself humble, right? Stay humble and stack sats, as Odell says. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this. Just very curious. But I think some of these things, getting to these root causes, things we're not taught in school, we have to start understanding this in order to really get ahead in life and in order to truly succeed at the highest level. So let me know your thoughts on this. I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Share it out, please, because the algorithm hates truth. The algorithm hates our channel. Again, I get people, why is this channel at 100, 300,000 subscribers? I don't know. It's because the algorithm hates people that talk about liberty, freedom, thinking for yourself, questioning, trust but verify. Any of these, I'm sorry, I don't know really how to talk and censor myself, and I'm not smart enough to be able to not use any of these buzzwords and still get my message across. So YouTube flags, shadow bans, stuff like that. So please share it out. Please send this to family, friends, people maybe that you've been debating and they need someone else to see instead of just you. It's hard to be Messiah in your own town, right? I get that. So I appreciate you more than you know. Trust but verify. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. And this is freedom advice, not financial advice. Get your Bitcoin. Get it off exchanges. Get it into cold storage. You can mine it, you can buy it, or you can work for it. Those are the three ways really you can, having Bitcoin sent to you directly is a great way to be outside the system too. Unbelievable way, non-KYC. So look into those ways. I'm actually going to start looking into some miners or mining, but there's unbelievable things we'll talk about more in the future with people heating their home with their Bitcoin mining rig and setup, and heating their water heater, heating their home. Unbelievable stuff coming. Bitcoin mining is going to change humanity. Story for a different day. I'm going down on a tangent, but I appreciate this. Share this out because the Alphabet company or whatever it is, they don't like this channel. Plain and simple. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one.